This is What Happened This Week. It is March 17th, 16th? It's the 17th. Hope everyone is doing well. Going to be talking about Drew Brees, going to be talking about Tom Brady, going to be talking about the Houston Rockets and their absolute failure in the James Harden trade. It's all here today. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're sharing, make sure you're subscribing. If you're not already, make sure you follow the Instagram, make sure you follow the Twitter. We hang out there, we vibe. That's the best way to sort of get in touch with us. And yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time with this intro. So again, make sure you check out previous podcasts. Make sure, again, you're following all of us on socials. Oh my goodness, that was a burp. I'm going to keep that in though, because, show goes on. Anyway, let the show begin now. Welcome back. So today, first topic I want to talk about is Drew Brees retiring. So after a very long NFL career, 15 years with my favorite New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees has finally called it a career. And for me personally, it's one of those things that I saw coming, but when I finally heard about it, it was a little sad because for me, Drew Brees and the Saints are the reason I'm into sports. Well, not into sports entirely, but into football. And, sort of once I started watching football, I got into basketball and all that, And, I still remember that first day. It was a Christmas day, and, my dad had scored big time and got me a PS3, PlayStation 3 for those who don't know, and Madden 11, which had Drew Brees on the cover. And, from there, nothing was the same, I can still hear the second best intro in Madden history as, Drew Brees hypes up the team, voice fades in and out with his voiceover. I was instantly hooked. From heartbreak to heartbreak, he was always my quarterback. And, if not for that, I don't know where I would be. Straight up, just because I don't know if I would be, writing articles. I don't know if I would be doing sports podcasting or, my sports podcast. Yeah. So, I haven't always agreed with Brees and his politics, but in terms of off the field stuff, Brees was deeper than football for the city of New Orleans. He spent time caring for his community. He helped rebuild schools, homes, and athletic facilities following Hurricane Katrina. He's helped restore neighborhoods that were overlooked in the aftermath of Katrina. And dude's just been charitable as hell. I think, his foundation has given over $35 million to charitable causes worldwide. And, as a kid growing up in Brooklyn, I personally never felt a connection to my local football teams. And my parents were from Western New York, but that didn't sway me on becoming a Bills fan. I don't know. There's something special about Brees that attracted me to the team. And when I first saw them on the Madden 11 cover, maybe it was because Brees and the Saints were the best team in the game, so it was very fun to play them. Or maybe I connected with Brees being shorter than everyone else at his position, sort of like myself. I'm not short, but I'm average height. And when it comes to athletics, height is usually very much, I guess, not admired, but wanted. Brees made me fall in love with football to the point where I would watch film from games I can't remember, and when I see certain moments in Saints history that I wasn't a fan during, whether it's the Super Bowl or when they return to the Super Bowl, I get little I guess I would say goosebumps and butterflies. Football has gotten me through hard times in my life. Times where I felt I had nothing, but I knew I had the Saints and Drew on Sunday afternoons waiting for me, win or lose. Without getting that copy of Madden 11 all those years ago, who knows where I'd be. But, I'm pretty damn happy to be where I am now. And, without Drew and the Saints, none of that would be possible. So, thank you, Drew Brees, for a remarkable career. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing you and your broadcasting. Well, I'm not quite sure. I know I don't know if he's going to be on the broadcast, but I know he's doing stuff for NBC now, whether it's, broadcasting, an analyst, whatever it is. I'm very much looking forward to sort of keeping Drew Brees in the football universe. And again, yeah, he said some stupid shit, and he's paid for it. And I still think, there's more that could be done. But, just purely talking my passion for the game, thank you, Drew. Thank you for all that you did. All right, second topic. I'm sticking with football this week. Well, not just with football, but the next topic is also going to be football. So I want to do free agency, but I think what I'm going to do is sort of wait another week before I get into the nitty-gritty on all of NFL free agency. So I'm specifically going to talk about the New Orleans Saints rival Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their coach, and their player, Tom Brady. You might know him. He just re-signed with the team, and this brings him back at a lower salary cap hit. So basically, it's going to cost less money for the team for him to play for them. And, okay, what does that mean? So it means that the insanely good players that were just playing with Tom Brady, that they won a fucking Super Bowl with, they're able to bring all these core pieces back, And as somebody who loves another NFC South team, which is the division that the Buccaneers are in, this is absolutely my worst nightmare. I talked about just 2 seconds ago about how, I very much appreciate Drew Brees and the Saints and all that, but this is literally the exact opposite of what Drew Brees, did for his career. It was always because Brees never took less money, similar to Tom Brady. And this left the Saints GM in a bind to build a better team around Brees, while Brees put up historic numbers. But because the defense was always terrible because of lack of improvement from, not being able to sign people because they didn't have the money and missed draft picks, it never led to anything. Cut that. So not only does Brady signing create more room for re-signings and potential other free agent signings, it's also a rallying cry for the rest of Tampa's team that, hey man, winning right now is more important than money. And so that means, again, players like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, Shaq Barrett, Devin White, Levante David, they're going to be encouraged to re-sign for less. And it's like, what the fuck? This is GM's, I don't know how to say his name, I don't know how to say his name. This is the GM of Tampa Bay. I'm not going to try to say his name. And Bruce Arians, their head coach. They got to be thrilled. And the rest of the NFL, oh, come on now. We got to relax because we can't freak out because it's already happening. And, a year ago, after the Saints lost, it was reported that the Saints and Brady had mutual interest. And if Brees had retired and went to broadcasting, Brady was potentially going to go to the Saints. And for me, that's just, that's terrible. Because minus quarterback, I personally think that the Saints had the same level of players around the team than Tampa Bay did. So obviously it's easy to say, oh, the Saints would have won the Super Bowl. But again, it's a pivotal moment in NFL history that's forgotten. You know, Brady won another Super Bowl with Tampa, and my dear Saints were a hurdle in the way. And, you know, seeing Brees struggle with injuries and seemingly delay his retirement makes me all the more bitter for what could have been. You know, especially with high-level talent leaving. You know, in another world, Brady signs with the Saints and everything is roses. Just how it is with the Bucs. But, you know, now the Saints are just stuck with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. And that's fucking great. And we've lost some depth. And, you know, we are probably not going to be as good as we were this year. And Brady's going to keep marching on as a Super Bowl favorite, as my team will surely be left in the dust in the coming years. Gotta love it. And for the last topic, gonna switch up to the NBA. All right, we love the NBA, right? So I was thinking about it the other day, and in the Nets trade for James Harden, the Houston Rockets, you know, they acquired a ton of draft picks, but they didn't get any of Brooklyn's talented players. I mean, you know, there's some talent that they got, but, you know, players like Karis LeVert and Jared Allen and Nick Claxton, not one of them ended up in Houston. And it's like, wait, what? We traded an MVP and all that we're left with is like role players and, you know, a million draft picks. Like, those draft picks potentially are going to be terrible because the Nets, those draft picks, the Houston Rockets are depending on the Nets to get worse and to regress. But if that doesn't happen, those picks are meaningless. So let's the three players I named, right? Okay, so Karis LeVert. What happened there was the Indiana Pacers got involved, and they traded Victor Oladipo to the Houston Rockets for Karis LeVert. And for me, it's like, okay, well, wait. Like, yeah, Victor Oladipo is a very good player who will certainly command a lot of money. But Karis LeVert's a baller. And I'm sorry, I do not take Victor Oladipo over Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert can make his own shot. He can hit a three-pointer. He can freaking play make. And he can play decent defense. What else do you want for a basketball player that you're going to lose the James Harden trade no matter what? Especially if the Nets win the championship. You're going to lose this James Harden trade. That's a foregone conclusion. And you didn't even take back a fantastic player of quality? All right, next one is Nick Claxton. So this one, little more, this is the most excusable one in my opinion, because in the previous season, Nick Claxton, who very talented young center for the Brooklyn Nets, you know, he wasn't playing a lot. So the Rockets didn't necessarily get to see how good this kid was. But looking at it now, it's like, what the hell? You know, Nick Claxton has been an amazing spark plug for this Brooklyn Nets team where they're just like, oh, Nick, get in there. We need some electricity. We need some juice right now. And he is 7 feet tall, and he moves like a damn point guard. It's like, what do you want? This guy is good, and you didn't even attempt to get him? Like, come on now. And the last one, and the one I think is the most egregious, is the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers were able to scoop Jared Allen from this trade. So basically, the Cleveland Cavaliers were included so that there was more draft capital for the trade. And that sent Jared Allen to the Cavs for a very low price. And it's like, wait, Houston, what the hell? Like, you want to rebuild and you're just denying getting these young stars? Jared Allen is also a young center. And he's been incredible for the Cavs. Yes, I know the Cavs haven't been winning a ton of games recently, but it doesn't matter because he's a building block for the future. He's a blue chipper for fuck's sake. And he's going to be incredible. He started to hit a couple threes. I know the percentage doesn't look good, but it's still incredible. And his best attribute is his defense. And if you want to start somewhere with an NBA team that's young, you'd be like, all right, you know what? We're gonna build the ground up. We're gonna build from the ground up with defense. In my opinion, that's the best way to go. Because, as they say, defense wins championships. And I'm not gonna say that, the Nets are gonna tank, or not that they're gonna tank, but they're gonna be so bad in the years to come, and the Rockets are gonna no. The Rockets, it doesn't matter what those picks end up being unless it's a James Harden level player. It doesn't matter because they gave up on young stars who definitely can be all-stars. And I don't know. For me, it's just stupid. All right. And that's been it for this week's iteration of What Happened This Week. Thank y'all so much for listening. If you haven't already, make sure you like, share, subscribe. There should be a Drew Brees piece up on the website of La Tonique Media. Check under the sports section. I wrote it myself. Over 3,000 words. It was, man, to relive some of that Saints stuff was really, really cool. But, please check it out. I'm gonna put that link in my bio for when that does drop. Which should be 5 p.m. Eastern time. So you should be able to listen to this and then, go check that out. And if you do, thank you so much. Make sure you're also liked, shared, subscribed, all those good things, following. Make sure you rate us. Make sure you check out previous podcasts. Our last podcast with Anthony Obas, our Skype Stoop sessions session. It was great. He had so much to say, and if you're creative and you're feeling lost, listen to that podcast because there's a lot of good information in there. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Hope y'all are having a great day, evening, morning, midnight, whatever it is. Make sure, again, you check us out on Instagram, check us out on Twitter, and, looking forward to the next one. Appreciate y'all. Have a good and safe day. Peace.